I sustained an injury. I fell out of a car and scraped up my knees and my elbows. Nothing really big or anything. But whenever I healed up, there was no more color there.
Okay.
And so I started noticing that anytime I got hurt, whether it be a burn or a scrape or any kind of abrasion or a laceration, I wouldn't get that color back. Also, the older that I got, I lived in Florida for a long time. So growing up, I spent a ton of time in the sun. And I started losing more color around those areas where sun would hit me. So up in my forehead, around my eyes, around my cheeks, and around my mouth and things like that, I would start losing color.
So when would you say that, it was noticeable? And then, I'm also curious.
It got noticeable pretty quick. By the time I was around 7, I think is when I fell out of the car. I had it on my elbows and my knees, and I was dark, guys. I was really, really, really tan. So, you could really tell. And people I don't know if people know that every single race, male and female, they get it all equally. It's not just one or the other. It's just that the lighter color you are, the harder it is to kind of see, and the darker you are, the more it stands out.
More, right? Yeah.
And so the more tan I get, the more it stands out.
I am curious. Did you get picked on? Did you?
Oh yeah, insanely. Yeah, but I was a smart mouth little kid, so I would get picked on, and then
like you had some great women in your life that would, kind of just.
Right. I was also taller than most of the people who were picking on me.
Well, I don't have a really better way than... I'm just imagining them, and you correct me if I'm wrong, Amy, but, you coming home crying, being picked on.
Yeah.
And then your mom and your grandmother, or your stepmom, all just going, F them.
Yeah.
That's what I imagine. I don't know if that was the case.
That is the case, pretty much, and then my mom would be like, all right, let's go out back. I'm going to teach you how to fight. No, I'm just kidding. Not really. But,
just a little bit.
Just like I might just be a little kidding. Anyway, so they all... You start to develop a concept of who you are based on who you have around you, right? And so all of my family, especially my mom, just thought I was just the best thing that ever happened. And so you get enough of that poured into you, it fills up your cup. And so when someone decides that they're going to take a little by saying hurtful things to you or being unkind, you're getting more poured back in. And I think that's what's really important. I know that doesn't happen very well in a lot of family dynamics. Sometimes there's a lot more going on. But, every family's going to have their share of hardships and skeletons in the closet, so to speak. But the more you can fill that cup, when something like that comes to happen, it just doesn't really bother you so much. And then after a while, you start to really embrace it because you realize that, you guys or, the friends that I have now, which are just bar none, guys. I have, I'm about to sound like Trump. I have the best friends, the best of friends. And so all the people that I hang with are the best. So
you're welcome.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
That's what we're here for.
But, you start to learn that the people who really matter, that really can add things to your life, they're still gravitating toward you. And it's the people who really would probably end up not being so good in your life, very superficial, very... very judgmental. Those are the people you don't really need in your life anyway. So I'm just going to thank my vitiligo for sort of weeding those people out of my life.
Right away, right
off the bat. Yeah. I don't even really have to worry about that so much.
Yeah.
And then I can just focus on the people that matter and myself. And
So what advice would you give to anyone that's struggling with vitiligo? Is new to it, doesn't have any direction or know kind of where to go or find good research or...
Well, first and foremost, vitiligo will not kill you. It is not catchy. You cannot touch somebody and then they get vitiligo. Oh my God, he just got whiter.
I kind of want it. I've seen some really pretty patterns that we've shared, and I'm like...
I used to have a heart, but it sort of got swallowed up because since I've been back in school, it spread a little bit more. But I had the coolest little heart pattern that was that was on my wrist right here, but you could, I mean, it will spread and it'll make the neatest little marks all over the place.
I look at it, and when we were at the shooting, or the film.
The film.
Film.
Yeah.
I was like, let's clarify,
sorry.
we were not in a
Sorry.
shooting.
So
We're not
sorry.
shooting.
Where we were shooting.
No, we were at
Where
the
we
film.
were
On
we were
set
on
of
a film shooting. Yes. Shooting like a film. Okay.
Not indoor shooting.
Yes.
Anywhere.
Yes. Mike's getting tongue-tied. It happens all the time. I've again lost
On
where
the
I'm.
scene of the film when
It reminds me of cloud spotting and figuring out like
Yes.
what
does that look like?
Yeah.
Yes.
So
Yes, I do that when I'm in the shower.
I
I do. I'll see something new develop and I'll be like, oh.
well, and one
What
really
is
cool
that?
concept that Amy was showing me is there. I think it was a girl, right? That was getting tattooed.
Oh no, I think she just drew.
Drew them.
She drew the borders of vitiligo are quite sharp. You can definitely tell the difference. Now, some of them are a little less sharp than others. As you can see, this is quite lighter. Well, maybe not quite, but it's lighter than here and here. So it's sort of fading. That's a little less sharp of a border. But anyway, most of the borders along those, what they call lesions, where it's white versus tan, or your actual skin tone, they're quite sharp. So you can draw around them and you can draw out your patterns. And it was really neat, wasn't it? Hers almost looked like a map, like
Yeah, it
looking
looked
like
like
a
a
globe.
map.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
It does have that pattern to it.
It does, it does, because I mean, land is sort of like that. You know, you've got these really sharp borders against a completely different terrain. Yeah, most definitely.
So resources.
Resources. So I would say you can do a lot of research online. I would make sure that you're going to somewhere somewhat reputable. I know people don't think Wikipedia is reputable, but you'll get a pretty good idea about what vitiligo is there. And then I would say start talking to your dermatologist. Talk to them.
Are there support groups? Is there anything in that?
I've never been to a support group.
I'm just curious
honestly.
if there is.
Like
I don't
they do
know.
a lot of online support groups.
There's
sometimes.
around 2 to 3%, I think, worldwide of people who have vitiligo, which is a lot more, and it can actually be more congested in some areas versus others, and I don't know why that is. Like we said, it could be very much environmentally triggered. So there could be something going on in that environment where that's triggering it.
I think I remember, because I follow a few people. I didn't know that was what it was called. I just find it fascinating.
Right.
But I think there's a power couple on Instagram that I've seen that both have it.
I think I know who you're talking about because I totally follow them. They are adorable, aren't
Yeah.
they? They're
follow
my
these
favorite.
people.
They're my favorite people. I don't even know your name, but
Yeah, I don't remember their names either.
They're out there.
But yes.
tell us
We
who
love
you
them.
are.
Yes, we
'cause
want to
I
hear
would
your
love to
story
say
too.
hi.
So.
But yeah, they're absolutely adorable, and I love them to death. But I would just say, know what it is and know what it isn't. Because it's an autoimmune disorder, just like a lot of other autoimmune disorders, you're at more risk for having vitiligo if you have another autoimmune disorder, or you're at more risk of developing another autoimmune disorder if you have vitiligo. Like, for example, people who have like I have Hashimoto's thyroiditis, which is an autoimmune disorder that attacks my thyroid. Wikipedia, I think, says something like, stop making fun of me. It says something like you're at higher risk if you have hyperthyroidism. I'm not so sure if that's right. That's why you've got to go and talk to, I would say, talk to a rheumatologist, most definitely, because because this is most definitely an autoimmune disorder, and even more than a dermatologist who is going to want to focus on what they can do to help the appearance of the skin. A rheumatologist can help you figure out what is triggering it. Like, they think it could be like eating gluten can sometimes cause it. It literally is environmental factors that sort of set it off.
What about the mental aspect of it?
The mental aspect of it. I think
yeah,
that if
anybody-
you're having trouble, if you are a young man or a young woman and you've developed vitiligo and you're having a hard time accepting yourself as your self-concept has changed, I think that seeking seeking out the help of a professional like a therapist or a counselor is extremely beneficial because you are so much more
You're
than
unique.
than what this is, which
Yeah.
is basically just a covering
Of your bones.
of your bones and your skin and your muscles and your tendons and your, it keeps everything together. It's really just a protective covering, and you're so much more than that. I know that sounds really kind of dumb whenever
No,
you're
that's
dealing
true.
with, I can't find a girlfriend or I can't find a boyfriend, and people who are really young, or any of us really, that's such a huge deal. That's a big deal for a lot of us, and they feel like it sort of maybe detracts from their overall attractiveness. There are some groups on Facebook, actually. I don't know if it's a support group so much. I guess you could probably call that, but there are some groups out there that that I follow. Do you want me to try to find them?
Yeah.
I mean, if it's helpful,
I mean, there
I'm
is.
more
I
than
mean,
happy.
like I said, I follow that couple too.
Yeah.
And I mean, when they post, the pouring of love that comes from, the community in general, the people that
Right.
follow them is absolutely and utterly amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it's unique. You're unique. In my
I guess
opinion.
so. But
I
aren't
mean,
we all?
well, we are in our own way, yeah. But yes, we are all unique.
So the two
We're all
groups that
snowflakes.
I kind of have been following
different.
on Facebook, and there might be others, but I haven't really put that much effort into it. I actually only just recently found these groups. Never even thought to look them up at all. But one of them's called Vitiligo Pride, and then another one is called the Official Vitiligo Support Group. It is a support group. Okay,
There you go.
okay.
You have it.
And they have some really neat stuff. Like the very first post on there is, I wonder if we look really cool under black lights. And I can answer this question.
Okay, yes.
Yes, you do. Your
Really?
skin,
What?
yes, you do. Your skin will glow blue. And that is kind of one of the ways that can be used to help diagnose it. So, yes.
Amy is an awesome person in general from Andrew.
Aww.
Thank you, Andrew.
He's at
Thanks,
the dentist
Andrew.
right now.
Oh, sorry, man. That stinks.
We need
Your
to.
teeth will also glow at the dentist.
Yes.
Right?
So, if anyone that's on has any questions for Amy or for us, right now is the time. But this video is going to be posted, so if you have any questions, just post it in the comments, and we'll try to get a good answer for you guys. But anything else you want to add? Like, what message do you want to leave our women or anybody?
I don't know. I think probably one of the biggest empowering statements that I've heard recently was, you are who you've been looking for. You don't have to find your happiness, your self-worth, your standards. You don't have to find that in anybody else. That's all in you. And I think that's probably a big part of our purpose in life, is to find out what that is. So get out there and do that.
I think that's a good note to end on.
That's a really good
So
note.
thank you, Amy.
Thank you.
We really
Thank you for
enjoyed
having
having
me.
you.
I
So
love Albert.
again,
Mike too. He's relatively new to me.
yeah, I'm slowly gaining that hug. So if you'd like to see it, it'll be online very shortly. So thank you guys.
Yes. Have a good evening, afternoon.
Follow us, Yes Love OKC.
Yes. On Instagram, Twitter, Facebook.
What he said.
All right.